The smaller, the more humble you become, the greater your connection to godliness is going to be. Why is that? In this week's Torah reading, Parashat Ekev, Ekev means because of. The Torah talks about the virtues of the land of Israel. And when explaining that, the Torah says in Hebrew, Eretz, Harim u'bekois, Limitara Shamayim Tishtamayim. This is the land of mountains and valleys, and you will drink of the water of the rain from the heavens. Now, the simple explanation of this virtue is the Jewish people were coming out of Egypt. In Egypt, the only source of water is the river Nile. And when you actually want to give water to your fields, you have to go to the river and you have to pick up the water and take it to the field. The water is only on the river. However, in the land of Israel, the rain is going to actually give water to your fields. You're not going to have to work by drawing the water from the river and taking it from here, there, carrying the water and so on. God is going to actually give water to your fields. You're going to be fine. It's a land full of mountains and valleys. And God is going to give rain to you. Don't worry. However, there are many other lands around the world that also have mountains and valleys. So what's the whole virtue of the land of Israel that has mountains and valleys? There's a deeper way of understanding what the land actually is talking about. And the truth is that it's talking about each one of us. And this whole idea of a mountain and a valley, it's how is our relationship to God, with God. And the idea is like this. What's a mountain? A mountain is a piece of land, of earth, that actually goes up to the heavens. So there's a thing called a seal. Whether the seal is convex, comes out, or concave, comes in. So when a person is actually like a mountain, you're loving God and you're going towards God, you have a tremendous desire to be with God, that generates up, so to speak, just like a seal, a withdrawal from godliness. When God conceals himself, that generates in us a will of connecting to him, of finding him, understanding where it's like just like a father playing with a child. When the father hides himself, where is Tati? Where is Tati? The child says in anguish, where's my father? Where's my father? And when the father just opens the eyes, here's Tati. There's happiness. So when there's concealment above, so to speak, withdrawal that generates in us, move on forward towards God. When he goes, so to speak, concave, we go convex. And the same thing happens the other way around. When he shows his love for us, that generates in us a withdrawal. Whoa, this is so powerful. Or the other way around. When we withdraw ourselves into losing our own egos, losing our own limits, our own desires that usually are physical things, and even losing our spiritual desires, when we just connect to God because this is what he is expecting from us, this is a withdrawal from, so to speak, from our part that generates a tremendous flow of love, convex. We go concave, he goes convex, an amazing show of love from God toward us. And that's like a valley. The going for us, convex, is like a mountain. We go up, so God withdraws. The idea of a valley is convex, is concave, it goes down. So when we actually are humble and we just connect to God because this is what he's expecting from us, not expecting a reward, not expecting some kind of gain, either material or spiritual, that is what actually makes a flow of godliness, of godly love toward us. And this is actually the praise of the land of Israel. That this cannot be necessarily found somewhere else. This represents the soul that each single human being has inside of him, inside of her, that has a will to connect to God. And in the most pure sense, it's the idea of loving God and fearing God. And there are basically, the Torah says, Harim u'bekois, mountains, in plural, and valleys. That the minimal plural is two. So there are two ways of loving God, and there are two ways of fearing God. Which at the end of the day, the first thing that a person has to arouse within himself is the most basic fear for God. I fear transgressing the godly commandments. Then that leads into a lower level, so to speak, of loving God, which is, think about the world around you. Think about the Creator, the greatness of the Creator. In every single place of the nature, you see the signs of the wisdom of the Creator. That's the simplest level of loving God, because it comes from understanding your own limits and understanding of godliness around you in the creation of the world. Then that leads to a higher level of loving God, which is related to, but there's something more than what I understand. A higher level of loving God. And then the highest of the highest level is the fear of God, which is not fear of trembling because he's going to punish you. No, that's not even a level of fear of God. I'm talking about something that connects you completely to godliness. And as our sages say in the Mishnah, in Pirkei Avos, in the Ethics of Our Fathers, only an empty vessel contains. So apparently it seems like a stupid statement. Of course, everybody knows an empty cup contains water, can contain water. But the idea is, when you are empty of yourself, when you are empty of your own wills, of your own desires, of your own thing, of your own limits, then, only then, you can actually contain the greatest blessings of all, which is a show of love from God toward us.